Okay, this is the second video of the series of videos about vertebrae. So, we're working with affirmative sentences and negative sentences. So, these were the sentences I gave you as an example. And what you needed to do was to work by pairs, okay, by groups of three, I'm sorry, to make sentences with all pronouns in affirmative and negative form. Okay? Now, based on what you did as working with your groups, we're going to analyze the sentences. Okay? So, when we write affirmative sentence with verb to be, it's important to remember the use of the articles. Okay? And remember that verb to be refers to states. Okay? So, or states or facts. So, a fact is that I'm an English teacher, or a state is that I'm happy. Okay? So, those are the kind of usage that we can think about when we work with the verb to be. And in the negative form, you have to remember that you need to get the negative form of the verb. You use contractions when you speak or when it's an informal writing. Now we're going to work with the second activity guide. Okay, so in the second activity guide, what you have is the same. You have the bees with the flashcards with the pronouns, and in the basket, there is the negative form of the verbs. So we have isn't and we have aren't. What is the first thing you have to do? You have to go back to the first slide of this PowerPoint presentation and keep in mind pronouns and verb. And you have to do the same but with the negative. So in the first one we will have I am, and then the negative will be of this one will be I am not. Okay? And then for the second one, you are, then you will have you are not, which is equal to you aren't. Okay? You have the apostrophe like this. Okay? And for he, she, and it will be isn't. So you get like this one, or is not. So you can have here is not, which is equal to is. And are the same will be are not, and in the contraction form we'll have aren't. Okay? With this information clear, you can go to the last activity guide. I'm sorry. And then start making a line. What are you going to do? You're going to take the flashcard with the pronoun and make a line to the correct basket with the negative form of the verb. So in the case of the pronoun it, the basket has a line is isn't because it's the correct form of the verb. And you have to do the same with we, with you, with they, with she, with you, and he. After you do that, you're going in the second part of the activity guide to write the correct form, aren't or isn't, in front of the pronoun. I want you to paint those as well as the other activity guide, this one, and put that into a folder. Why? Because all of these activity guides are going to be good for you, and you are going to be a resource, a tool for you to study later on. Okay? Now, we're going to get again to the first example of affirmative. Okay? So, just to recall, verb to be, it's am, are, or is. We have been working in affirmative and negative form. In the affirmative form, I use the pronoun, the verb to be, and a complement. I need to keep in mind that I need to use an article if this noun is singular. We have worked with articles in the past and an A, and that's why we use it here. If I want to change an affirmative sentence into a negative, I just need to use the negative form of the verb, and that's how we're going to do it. But how about if I want to write a quotient? Okay, so it is possible. In the case of a quotient, what do? I am going to take my sentence, affirmative, and then I'm going to write it here. And what I do is that I changed the position of the subject. So now it's not Carol is, but instead is Carol. And I get this one here. And as it is a question, I need to start, I use a capital letter and then a question form. That's how I work with questions. In the next video, we're going to practice more affirmative form, negative form, and question. As an activity, you're going to, from the sentence you work with in the groups of 3, the affirmative and negative form, you're going to write for the affirmative form a question. So you're going to change from affirmative to question.